Let's face it, guys. If there's one thing that goes together perfectly, it's caffeine and horror. Whether you need an extra boost because you're staying up late to watch your favorite horror movies,
what's your favorite scary movie?
Or you're looking to start your morning with a terrifying twist, Haunted Cups Coffee is the ultimate coffee brand to bring these two things together. With hauntingly good flavors like Beetle Brew and Trick or Treat, or brand new roasts like Sugar Skull and Brain Dead Vacation, Haunted Cups Coffee has flavors every coffee connoisseur would die for. You can follow them on Instagram at Haunted Cups Coffee, or you can order online at hauntedcupscoffee.com.
Here at the Haunting Hour, it's no secret we are huge advocates for health and fitness. And one of our sponsors, JNX Sports, is here to help everyone conquer their demons in the gym. Their pre-workout powder, The Curse, is stacked with beta-alanine, L-citrulline, and 155 milligrams of caffeine per serving. They also have new stim-free pre-workouts, flavored creatine, and fat burners like the Omen and the Ripper. Head on over to jnxsports.com and use our promo code HauntingHour at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Are you looking for an apparel company that combines your love of fitness and the supernatural? Well, enter Cryptid Strength. With some of the coolest graphic t-shirts showcasing our favorite cryptids like Bigfoot and Mothman lifting weights, this apparel company is ready to help you look your best in the gym. Swing on over to cryptidstrength.com and check out all of the apparel they have to offer. And remember to use our promo code HauntingHour at checkout for 10% off your entire order.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor.
Here at the Haunting Hour, we love to enjoy a cold beer while working in the studio. And the only one for us is a Narragansett beer. Try a few of our favorites: the Atlantic Light Lager, the Fresh Catch Blonde Ale, and of course, if you happen to find yourself on the Orca, then you have got to grab a crisp, refreshing Narragansett Lager. It is made on honor and sold on merit.
This sharp, swallow you whole. Shaking, tenderizing, down you go.
This episode of the Brown Brothers Haunting Hour comes with a warning. Listener discretion advised.
And welcome back to the Haunting Hour. My name is Ryan Brown, your co-host here at the Haunting Hour, and I am joined, as always, alongside my brother Tyler. Ty, how are we doing tonight?
They want to see me in the boxing ring, yeah.
And I ain't going nowhere with a pity.
It's a Waster Tuesday.
Sometimes you just gotta let it roll and see what happens on a Tuesday, man.
Dude, you know when you have like the worst day of all time and you can just flip it 180 and just change your whole outlook on life?
I think you have to be very, very talented to do that, though.
Well, that didn't happen to me. Because I never have bad days. I'm way too grateful for everything I have in my life for a bad day.
Wow, well said.
No, Waster Tuesday, though, it came on my shuffle during my arm day, and the rest is history, as they say.
say less. If you want to go Waster Tuesday, Ty, I am here for it. We are going to have ourselves a cult classic episode here tonight. You heard it at the top of the show, but listener discretion advised for this one, guys. It gets very dark, very depressing, and we're going to be talking a little bit about child murder.
Goody.
And Tyler's Tuesday just kind of dropped off a little bit.
Well, at least it kind of like tracks with the depressing time of year that is mid-January.
We're talking pretty much some of the same things we talked about last week, but I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to kind of flesh out the ideas we had last week about like a matriarch or a patriarch of the family doing the darkest thing possible.
Infanticide.
Yes, wow, well said, Ty.
All right.
I only heard about that in ecology class when lions would kill their kids.
I think it just spans, well, when any mother kills a kid.
Or a
father. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Kills a child. It is technically called infanticide. Yeah, great. So now I just have to, there's my Narragansett. Give me 2 seconds here.
I actually have a little something for you, Ty, that could really pick up this episode, give you a little bit of energy. Even though you seem pumped up already, we have the brand new flavor just sent to us from JNX Sports. It is the brand new curse flavor, mango chili.
Let me first say this. Pioneers, because I've never in the past 5 or 6 years heard of a mango chili flavored pre-workout or intro workout or like C4, Ghost, etc. I love me a spicy margarita. It's like the only spicy thing I like.
Tyler's starting to come around with the spice.
I'm doing better.
I think we have to thank your wife for that, to push you out of your little box that you were in for 30 fucking years.
You know what did it? It was when her grandfather shoved lobster down my throat continuously at dinner.
Sounds fucking disgusting.
It was pretty gross. And no fork, just
Hopefully he washed his hands. But, all right, yeah, we're gonna try this bad boy live for you guys, and this is legit live. We have never had this before.
It's good?
Wow, that is literally mango on the tip of your tongue, followed by that back of the mouth burn that I love with red chili flake. You're talking, God, even some type of like really, really good buffalo wings.
Holy shit, you're right. Holy shit, you are right.
Like me and Tyler we stand by it to this day. 2 scoops of the sour candy, the curse from JNX Sports, wakes you up because I love sour on the tip of my tongue in the late afternoon when I gotta lift heavy. That wakes me up a lot. I think this burn from the chili is going to wake me up even more. I fucking love it.
I still kind of got it on my tongue. Well, that's like, I would say 70% mango, 30% chili. Well done, JNX. We know that you guys are our sponsor. You've been our sponsor for years now. You guys keep coming out with fantastic fucking product.
If you guys are interested, head to jnxsports.com. Use our promo code Haunting Hour at checkout for 15% off your order. It supports the show. It keeps the light on here for me and Ty in the studio.
So does Courtney.
That's true.
As long as she pays her electric bill. Yeah, good segue. New year, new me bullshit ride. We have not talked gym in about 3 months. Let's get into it. The listeners, let's talk just you and I. I love you guys.
We're almost 1 month through the new year. You got any big goals? You got any intense lifts going on at the gym?
Yeah, the bulk is over for me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I hit 197 this year.
Holy fuck, dude.
Which wasn't as high as last year. Last year was 199. I was really hoping to push the 200 cap. But it was a more successful bulk this year. When I hit my 198 peak, I was not as
bloated.
Yeah, I wasn't as doughy.
Yes.
Than I was last year, which is telling me that I put on some quality muscle getting up to that 198 mark.
And that's going to make the cut even easier for you.
Exactly.
Unlike this side of the table, the bulk was very productive for me. I'm still in it, though.
You mean dirty?
It was kind of a mix.
Okay.
So I do think I put on a lot of good tissue.
Yep.
Some more fat than I wanted at this point, but I do think if I'm going to pull the same cut that I had last year before Rockville, the big music festival I go to in May, I think I'm going to be... I could start posing on stage, man.
Well, okay. Shut the f*** up. What were you at, or what are you at, I guess, for your height weight, etc.?
5'11" on a good day.
Okay. I
And-
meant like highest weight.
My peak right now was like 205.
Wow, good for you, man.
Yeah.
God, if I had 2 more inches on me, I would be a monster. I'd be pushing 220, I bet.
But I'm trying to shred probably 15 pounds this spring.
Yep.
Head somewhere within maybe 188, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I was 182 last year when I went to Florida for the music festival. But I think I cut down by 15 pounds. We're going to be right there.
The ultimate goal for me is 190 shredded.
Oh, you're going to be looking like Tom Hardy in Warrior.
That's the goal. No, but I did a couple of things this offseason that I think were super successful. I doubled the dose of my creatine, and I took it morning and night. So I did 5 grams morning with food, 5 grams evening, afternoon.
There's a lot of studies coming out saying that if you're a higher weight or even like taller, you need more creatine than just the 5 grams.
Exactly. I also added in, so AJ Sims, Cement Factory, that me and Rai quote. We haven't quoted him in a while, but
Shout out.
skinless. That's one of his sayings. He did he came up with sort of this concept of like the raw carrot salad.
Mhm.
Doesn't sound good as far as,
Sounds awesome to me.
well, you do like carrots.
Mhm.
No, but carrots, so raw carrots, I do it every single day around 9 o'clock. So it's just raw carrots, a little apple cider vinegar for the prebiotic, the digestion, and then Himalayan sea salt. But the carrots themselves, they have a fiber in it, an insoluble fiber called lignin, and it binds to free estrogen in the bloodstream. So obviously, if you have too much estrogen and you're a male, your testosterone doesn't rise as high. So it's kind of inverse. So the less estrogen you have floating around in your bloodstream, the higher your test will be. I started this about 3 months ago, and I swear by it thus far. I've been trying to put on actual muscle on like my upper shelf. I talked about this last year, I think. I said quads, traps, and upper chest. Not easy to do at all. And I finally filled out pretty much my upper chest.
Nice.
Super stoked about that. And the big difference was, I think, adding in the carrot salad and double dosing the creatine. So if you are a male and you're trying to increase your testosterone naturally, try the raw f***ing salad.
Yeah.
Once or twice a day, just have, I don't know, a handful of, you can even do little baby carrots, handful of those, apple cider vinegar, salt. Quinn, I'm talking to you. It will, I'm telling you, I swear by it, and I'm going to continue to do it, and hopefully that will help me reach my goal of, 190 shredded.
And not only are you going to just increase natural testosterone there, but I'm sure that reflects beautifully with more intense lifts. God, you probably feel way better as a 33-year-old, 34-year-old male.
Right.
Libido's probably fucking through the roof.
This is the time where like, the testosterone at 35, it starts to go the other way.
Right.
This is anything that you can do naturally, as far as especially food, just to get something in your digestive tract that increases it, that's safe, that's what you got to do.
Well, I love to hear it, and me and Tyler do hope that if you guys have big goals in 2026, you guys are starting off strong. That's what we have to do here to make this year the most progressive regarding bodybuilding, regarding whatever goals you have, say like hiking, running, I don't know.
Starting a podcast.
There you go. We just hope that you guys are hitting those goals really early in the year, because that momentum's going to just increase and increase as we hit the spring. And also, real quick, big shout out to anybody listening to us on YouTube. This is our first ever episode to get onto YouTube. Only took us, 117 for me to load it, I think.
We're on YouTube?
Well, yeah, well, our great short films are, but none of our episodes.
Yeah.
So now you guys can find our episodes here on the only platform known as YouTube. Do you got anything spooky to talk about, Tad, before we jump into tonight's topic?
Taylor told me a story a little while ago, and by that I mean like she told me probably a year ago. Like, it didn't really register as to how scary it was until I really sat down and thought about it. And this kind of came back up again a couple weeks ago when I rethought about this. She used to work as a bar manager, a bar back at her father's restaurant, 85 Main. Mm-hmm. Great restaurant, best restaurant in Northeast Connecticut. Check it out if you haven't been. But she was closing one night with her father. And this was a very, very late evening. So I think it was like a weekday or even a Sunday night when it was like 11 or 11:30 at night. No one in the restaurant. She said that she was upstairs at the bar and her father was downstairs in the office. Her father came up She saw him come up. He went into the back kitchen. And then she heard her father call her from downstairs.
No.
Okay? So she doesn't think twice. She just goes right down to the office. So she's downstairs, and she doesn't see her dad at all. She then says that she hears her dad call her. The exact same cadence, just says, Taylor, from upstairs. All right, so she goes back upstairs. No one's there. Her dad comes in.
Oh, I thought he left. I was like, oh my God.
He did.
No way,
He wasn't in.
What?
He wasn't in the restaurant. She said that she asked him, like, hey, did you call me? Were you downstairs? Why'd you call me? He said, I wasn't downstairs. And then she said, were you upstairs? No, I wasn't in the building. And the scariest part to this was, it was her dad's voice.
Why am I just hearing this for the first time?
Because I don't know why I didn't think it was that scary when she told me, but thinking back on it, listeners, picture this. You're in your house and you hear your mom calling you from downstairs. You go down there. She's not downstairs. She comes in from outside. Like, that's the scariest thing you can really think of.
It's like something was there that learned how somebody talks, and it's using it to its advantage to lure you in.
You said the word right there is what stuck with me, was lure.
Yeah.
It was trying to get her downstairs for a reason. Or it was trying to play with her so much that her mental state, like her psyche, started to go negatively.
Right.
Typically what happens with, like, if you believe in this stuff, like a possession, you got to be in a negative mindset, a pretty open, depressed, quote-unquote depressed mindset in order to be possessed. This is sort of my idea of what was happening.
That's like a trickster, like,
yes,
creepy-ass being that's doing it for a reason.
Exactly. And to even lend more credibility, 85 Main, I mean, that is an old-ass building. I have no idea as far as dates go, like when that building was erected.
Probably
150?
Yeah, probably around 100 years.
That's a lot of time as far as things potentially going wrong. Undocumented things. Things that we don't know about. Things that the public don't know about.
It's very widely known that there was a big hotel that burnt down in the middle of Putnam at one time. But I will say, Ty, I think we have ourselves a brilliant topic here. If we do a Haunted Putnam episode, and maybe we can talk to people and get some, like, real interviews of stuff that has happened to them and the history of Putnam, why Putnam is allegedly so haunted that nobody really talks about.
Genius.
We could talk to Kayla.
Right.
We could talk to Kayla from Bare Hands. She has stories that we are not allowed to really discuss at some points. She doesn't want to scare the clientele too much. We could talk to
Defamation.
Taylor. I'm sure, dude. Victoria
James,
Station.
yeah.
The Bradley Playhouse is known to be super haunted.
Yes. And obviously, if you guys haven't ever been to any of these locations, 85 Main and Bare Hands are in the same building.
Correct.
They are 30 feet away from the Bradley Playhouse, which is just across the street, and which are all connected via a tunnel system.
The mayor might come after you. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about the tunnel.
You know who's going to come after you? Gary O. In the morning. Hey, I'm Gary O.
I'll be real. That guy.
Now, his wife.
Very mean to me and Tyler at one point, so whatever.
At some point, we'll let this go. Like, at some point, we won't be as salty, but every single time I hear her voice, or I see her driving her stupid fucking car, that goddamn Winnie car.
Are we bitter? No, of course not.
It's like we're not good enough for Putnam, but we were born and raised here, pretty much.
We're better than Putnam, that's why.
Well, like I said, shout out to Taylor, because that I would have never gone back to that place. I don't know what it was. What do you think? Just a spirit that was playing with her, or do you think it was something pretty negative that was trying to maybe potentially possess her or latch onto her?
There could be such a malevolent being down there, some type of highly intelligent spirit that is feeding off of just the energy that both those buildings bring into it. You're looking at hundreds, if not thousands, of people during the week.
Right, and we talked about this during our Haunted Route 44 episode, I think, and Haunted Bar episode, that even good energy that you kind of feel 99% of the time at a bar or at a restaurant, that can still fuel a negative entity that is stuck there.
you're looking at a supercharged EM pump. If we're talking in like paranormal devices, you're looking at something that's just fueling the building with energy a spirit could use.
Maybe all it takes is being alone.
I fucking hate that. And the idea that Taylor was like filling up a bottle or something, or like cleaning some glasses, and this thing's peering at her around the corner and then slowly slides downstairs.
And then just says like, Taylor.
No, dude, I am out the front door. I am heading down 395 as fast as I fucking can go. But nonetheless, you guys, the more I think about it, the more we are going to bring you guys that episode, because it's our hometown. We have so many different things we could talk about. And this was a great jumping off point to talk about ghosts, spirits, and some really, really dark shit tonight, Ty. As I'm jumping into this episode, I told my boys at work I'd give them a quick shout out. So I got to give Kyle Cutler a shout out, and I got to give my boy Zach Garland, aka Zach Wilson, a big shout out, because he's the one who told me about this topic. Zach is from one of the northern towns in Massachusetts. You're talking the sticks. There is nothing to do except chop wood down, drive in your Jeep off-roading. That's more or less it.
Sounds kind of sick. So we're talking just straight north, right? Not like north towards the water.
Yeah, so we're not going east, we're going west.
Thank God. I'm so over fucking Salem and
Boston.
All of it.
Yeah. But yeah, so Ty, we're heading back to the year 1900 in the town of Coldbrook Springs, Massachusetts. Coldbrook Springs was a thriving but small village within the late 1800s in Mass. And it contained things such as the Cold Spring House, a hotel, a boarding house for visitors, an iron spring, a bathhouse, a blacksmith shop, 6 or 7 stores, a post office, and a billiard hall. So you're talking about a pretty bustling place in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when this story is going to take place.
Sounds like Worcester, back in, the turn of the century. Did you say a bathhouse? That's not a whorehouse, is it? What's a bathhouse?
I think I don't know. Could be.
Bathhouse, also known as a whorehouse.
But the family we're going to be talking about is the Narramore family. So the patriarch of the family was one Frank Narramore. This guy was a notorious drunk and adulterer, and he often would drink his wages away before returning home to his family. And that family consisted of his wife and 6 children. Now, this family, it did not live in like a big house. They were known to be pretty poor, and Elizabeth, the matriarch, she could not provide for the family alone. She really depended on her husband's income to pay for the family, to allow them to eat, for shelter, for heat, all of that stuff.
Does this sound familiar to you?
Sounds very, very familiar. And the fact that these two stories, like, I've never heard the story of Slaughterhouse Canyon before, and then Zach tells me this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the f*** are these happening at the same time?
That's just coincidence or something supernatural at play?
Eventually, Elizabeth starts reaching out to family and friends for help with money. As this starts to fall through the cracks and the family and her friends don't start to provide anything, she turns to a welfare organization. And this started to oversee all of the poor people within Baldwinville, Massachusetts. So when this organization comes to Coldbrook Springs to visit the house, the organization makes the decision to place 5 of the Narramore children in foster homes, while Elizabeth and her 11-month-old daughter get placed within a poor home within the village of Coldbrook Springs. So think about that for a second. Try to put yourself back into like the year 1900. You're a mother who's trying everything she can do to take care of her kids. She reaches out for help, but they decide, hey, these kids aren't fit to live here. We're going to take them somewhere else to provide for them, and you're going to take your 11-month-old back to this poorhouse.
I mean, is it a good thing? I mean, obviously bittersweet, right? You don't want to ever break up a family. But at the same time, if the quality of life that the kids had was that poor, where this is like an early child protective services, right? Pretty much?
Correct.
So if CPS says, hey, we got to take these kids so that we can feed them and, give them a bed, that's a good thing because they're improving the quality of life. You're just kind of breaking up a family at the same time.
What do you think that does to the psyche of the mother?
I think it does a lot, especially if you're already in like an abusive relationship.
I'm sure that did happen with her husband.
Absolutely. The 2 sentences you told me or that you said from him, yeah, automatically. Yes, he definitely did abuse her, probably verbally and physically. I think it wears you down. I think she probably thought that, hey, I'm obviously not fit to be a mother.
So here's the kicker. The welfare organization that came to take the kids, they told her, we're going to give you a week. When we come back next Friday, we are going to take the kids. They didn't give her anything to be like, hey, if they progress in the right way, if there's heat in the house, we're going to let you keep them. They were taking them either way.
So why'd they give her a week?
I think that this initial visit was just a...
Oh, okay.
Not like a meet and greet kind of to see what was going on.
They were checking out the house itself and the quality and saying, oh, okay. By the end of the actual visit, they probably thought that it would... Like, even in a week, she could not improve their life that well. I can already kind of see where this is going.
Again,
is this a case of, like, if I can't have these kids, then you can't have them?
It's very... If anybody has seen The Woman in Black, the vengeance kind of... If my child does not get the right thing, bad shit is going to happen. Oh, and I'll reiterate, listener discretion advised for this next part. So on March 21st, 1901, distraught of the prospect of losing all of her children, she calls each one of her children into the kitchen one by one. So Ethel, age 9, Charles, age 7, Walter, age 6, Chester, age 4, Elizabeth, age 3, and 11-month-old Lena. She kills each of them with an axe to the head or bludgeoned to death with a shovel. This includes her 11-month-old daughter.
Whatever good mood I was in earlier,
I am sorry. I told you this was going to be heavy.
So don't you think that there's a limit to what we should what we should talk about on air? I mean, I guess there's obviously no person that says you can't talk about this.
Right.
But I mean, you specifically.
So when Zach told me originally that there was a murder happening in Barre, Massachusetts, very, very close to home for me because this is part of the Wachusett watershed where a lot of the tributaries head into the Wachusett Reservoir from the Quabbin.
So that's got to be, 20 minutes from where you work?
Less than, maybe
10 minutes?
If that.
Wow.
This story hits so close to home for me. I might get emotional talking about it, but it was so difficult for me to actually read this story.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mean to put you on the spot because I brought the carnival killer, the Christmas killer.
Right. And
he did very similar things to his whole family when he actually did wait for them to come home from school. And I think he killed 7 or 8 of his kids.
Horrifying.
Terrible. We'll see how the fans, we'll see how the listeners like this one. We can maybe start dialing it back on the child murder and all that stuff. But yes, true crime horror, continue, sir.
I just think that a story this close to
where
absolutely. We live,
yep.
And a lot of people have never heard it, and people don't talk about it anymore.
Oh, this was a case of this happened in our town, bury it.
And these children, I will die on this fucking hill. They deserve to have their story told because I'm sure these kids could have grown up to be some of the greatest minds in fucking all of Mass.
So this was a case of I'm not losing my kids no matter what.
I think so. So this crime wasn't discovered until later that day when a neighbor arrives with groceries at the house to help. Instead of seeing the family, this person ended up finding a scene of unimaginable horror. Elizabeth Naramore confessed shortly afterwards and was taken into custody by Deputy Sheriff Sylvester Botwell. And at the children's funeral, Reverend Charles Talmage condemned not only Elizabeth's husband, Frank Naramore, but also a society that had allowed the family to sink into a depressive poverty and a depressive state. So if you were people in the town who ended up, like I'm sure word traveled extremely quick in 1901, you knew this happened. You go to the funeral and this reverend is condemning you for not stepping in and helping. The feeling in that town was nothing more than dread, in my opinion.
And guilt.
Horrifying.
So that's probably why they buried it. I mean, just another reason. Like, they knew what happened was wrong, but then hearing this reverend absolutely just cut into them, that probably solidified that, all right, this did happen in our town. Let's not bring it up ever until someone says something, and then we'll talk about it if we have to.
So Elizabeth was tried, and she was charged only with the murder of her eldest child, and she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. She spends 5 years in a state mental hospital before being released, and at that point, she vanishes into history, much like Madame Lalaurie that we talked about in New Orleans. So the connections that these last three topics have with each other, I don't think that we're just getting these randomly. Like, we're not just Googling random stuff and being like, oh, that looks like a good topic. There's a reason I think that we're talking about all three of these in a row.
Yeah, I mean, very much could be. The coincidences are piling up, and at some point you have to say, like, something's got to be kind of drawing us to these topics.
So wrapping up, with no money and no one to claim them, the children were buried just outside of Riverside Cemetery in Barre, Massachusetts. There were no headstones and only shallow depressions in the ground that these children were buried in. It wasn't until 2002 that a granite marker was finally placed. And today the Narramore grave sits just inside the cemetery's edge, and the one that's there, it's a big, beautiful granite headstone, but anytime you pass it, there are tens of hundreds of toys that people leave these children.
I was just going to say, I feel like I need to go up there and leave flowers or, a toy.
I would absolutely love to do that. This is a story that I think these children deserve to get told. I'm happy we have a platform to do it, to reach out to our listeners, to let people know that this stuff happens, but we're not forgetting about it.
We said it a long time ago. I think we said it during the axe killer of New Orleans. Going out by an axe? No, you know what? You said it during Villisca.
It was Villisca.
It was Villisca.
I can't imagine.
With the father waking up from a nap.
Yep.
Getting hit in the face.
Or Lizzie, too.
Or Lizzie Borden. Yes.
Yep.
Getting hit in the face with an axe. That's got to be absolutely abysmal.
I hate to think about it.
Thinking about kids. Like this, like, at least with Villisca, it was adults.
And children, though.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Lizzie Borden.
Yes.
With Lizzie Borden, it was an adult. With the axe killer of New Orleans, there were adults. Primarily adults. When you turn the page to kids, one of the hardest things to think about.
This is the type of evil that happens in the world that does not get scrubbed clean, in my opinion.
You mean like in the afterlife? Like if there is an afterlife?
I think so, and I think that traces of this can still be felt at this cemetery. Even though the children aren't necessarily buried in that exact spot, I think the energy there is something that it's not just going to disappear from the world.
So what do you think about, I mean, and we can harken back to last week's episode, but like with La Llorona, right? Like, do you think that Elizabeth is in this eternal purgatory, like having to relive this over and over, and if there's specific parameters that you'll experience her haunting? Or do you think she's just burning in hell?
I don't know. It's so hard to think what happened to her if she's meant to live out this traumatic.
If that would be a worse fate for her than actually just suffering.
Exactly, much
right.
like La Llorona. I'm going to add one more layer to this, and I'd love to get your opinion. So, the settlement of Coldbrook Springs was a town. I believe it's right outside of Barre, kind of near the area of Oakham, Massachusetts, back in 1901. So this settlement ends up being removed as a town altogether. It gets taken by the state.
Oh my God, that just scared the absolute fucking shit out of me. I'm sure it's just Amazon.
The doorbell just rang.
Holy Christ. I feel like I'm going to see Elizabeth walk in here.
Throw my beer can at her.
Right, just look behind him like for an egress to get out of here. Imagine if like someone dressed up and they just came in like Mama from Mama.
There'd be a murder in Woodstock.
Well, there'd be a death because I would have my heart would absolutely stop.
Oh, dude, I'm getting fucking scared.
I hope you guys can hear that doorbell. You might be able to just faintly hear that.
So, this settlement of Coldbrook Springs, it gets taken by the state. and the entire village gets flooded to create what is now the Quabbin Reservoir. So there are two main reservoirs in the state of Massachusetts. I work at the smaller one at Wachusett. But these two reservoirs, it produces substantial amount of drinking water for metropolitan Boston. So you're talking about this happens, and it seems like the town wants to forget about it. People feel guilty for not stepping in, for helping. Years down the line, everything gets wiped clean. You can't even go to this town anymore. It's underwater currently.
Yeah, so it's one of two things. It's like, yep, Quabbin Reservoir, we have a couple good spots for it. This might be the best one because we just kind of want to get this off the map, that kind of shit.
I think that's reaching, but...
Or it's just a coincidence, again, where they said, okay, well, this is a great spot for a reservoir. Let's just put it here. The fact that it happened, I think that was wrong. I think it was wrong that they didn't, in the next town over, have a monument that said, or even on the edge of the Quabbin Reservoir, beneath here is
it should
Coldwater Springs or Coldbrook Springs, whatever you said.
It should
I don't
be
listen when you talk early on, but
I think that something like that should be substantial. Like people should know about it.
Yes, it should be. I'm not obviously comparing it to like a war, but like something like a monument, like the Vietnam Monument. It should be a big ass fucking granite thing that has names and information where you can go and you can pray or provide an offering, something.
Right, and not just a gravestone that got erected 100 years later.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy to think about, and it just really hit me hard, is I would never know this story until the day me personally died, unless you had brought it up.
I think that's
insanity.
It's a good point. I think there's something that listeners can learn from this. You should research areas around you. You should look into history because there's a lot of stuff that just gets brushed under the rug. There's things you'll never know of that could, one, be super interesting and be like, oh man, I'd love to go visit whatever this was. This could be an old railroad track that I had no idea was sitting there. An old building where they had like lavish parties back in the day. Or it could be a tragedy that you as a listener, you as a person can offer condolences. You can give a little bit of your time to the people that have passed away.
And think about this, how important that message is. What if you are that listener right now who lives kind of near Barrie? You go and visit, you pay your respect, you pay your energy, and that's the last little piece of energy that one of those kids needs to find their peace, their happiness, their eternity in heaven.
Beautifully said. And I think that we can take things from the story. We can take little pieces that we can try to live our lives better. I do plan on visiting this gravesite sometime in the spring, bringing some flowers, just taking a minute. It's probably heavy as all fucking hell, but something that I feel like I need to do, something that I feel like anybody who lives within this area of Mass should go and do.
Well, Rye, I was impressed earlier tonight, and now I'm depressed. So thank you for that.
Well,
but I'm well informed, which
yes.
is they kind of come hand in hand.
I won't even throw this up on the scare scale. I think this is just a story. I really want our listeners to digest a little bit and know that shit like this did happen once. If any of our listeners want to talk about this, if anybody needs some condolences or anything like that, me and Tyler's DMs, they're always open. We are at Brown Brothers Haunting Hour on Instagram. You guys can chat with us there about anything you want to, really.
We don't just take hate mail.
Well, we take a lot of that.
Contrary to what you guys might think, we don't just take, you fucking betas suck. Adam DeMam quote.
Everybody tap the brakes real quick, all right? Jesus Christ.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Every once in a while, you have to bring a topic like this. Thank God it's you that always brings it, because I never want to bring this saddening bullshit that brings my very happy persona down.
Well, let's crack another Narragansett.
Let's do it.
Let's get after it here a little bit. But yes, guys, so that is our episode tonight, all on the Coldbrook Springs Massacre. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you can do us a solid, give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. We would be eternally grateful to you. You guys can also rate us on Spotify and follow us on Instagram. We are at Brown Brothers Haunting Hour. Shout out to all of our sponsors. We got JNX Sports. We got Narragansett Beer. We got Cryptid Strength. And we got Haunted Cups Coffee. Head on over to our Instagram, guys. You will find links to all of those fantastic companies there. I cannot say enough about them. I think they are the greatest people in the world. They make some of the greatest products that me and Tyler have ever tried. Do us a favor, guys. Support them because they support us.
The best way to support the show, except for Venmo, at Ryan Brown 777 or at Tyler Brown 1408, is to support our sponsors.
Well, Ty, I'll tell you this much. We got another episode coming out next week. We're getting really close to what I feel like is going to be a heater before we leave for ski weekend. This is a big shout out to our boy Quinn Peters. You know him as the cryptid nutsack Quinn.
Shut the f*** up, does he?
We're planning a big episode. He texted us today, gave us a little shout out, but he's looking for something much like the Frozen Hills people of Vermont. We're planning on giving that to him and all of our listeners. We are going to send the podcast this year even scarier, even more twisted. Some really, really spooky stuff heading your guys' way. We just hope you join us on this journey.
And as always, we are the Brown Bros, and we're coming to you from the grave. Yeah, great. So now I just have to, there's my Narragansett. Give me 2 seconds here.